have no idea what this is again.
Nope.
Just like last time when it was our story, you had no idea what it was.
No, I thought we were gonna work out in the living room.
We're getting ready to work out, and I said, "Hey, let's do this video first. Are we square? Is this kind of over? Hang on, I think it's kind of over, right? Hang on. So I gotta do this. Wait, hang on.
Get that shit square, babe.
I swear to fucking God. Now we're squared up. Okay, listen. All right. So this is what I want from you. So I have 2 questions for you. And this is totally like, I have the advantage to this. So it's kind of like
unfair.
It's unfair already, but
cool.
That's why I'm going to go first because I already know the answers to the questions. Where's Brady? See him here, my buddy. We're doing some questions. We're going to ask you questions
you
too,
don't want
okay?
to answer stuff?
All right. You got a question?
Don't say that.
Oh yeah, he actually knows that word because...
That's when we ask him to go W-A-L-K.
Yeah, anyways. All right, so what I need from you... Is this off-centered again? Does it look off-centered? I swear to God, it's moving when he walks, I think. The one thing that I do that drives you absolutely batshit crazy, like the biggest pet peeve that I do, like the one thing that you're like, seriously, I will fucking punch. Like the only, like there's gotta be at least one thing, it's probably more than one thing, that you just go, this is fucking, like I almost can't take this shit, right? And then I need the opposite of that is what you like the most about me.
I mean, are we talking like petty shit? Or are we talking like something
no, listen to what I just said. The thing that drives you fucking crazy the most. Now, it's not something that's like gonna lead us to like a fist fight. I mean, well, it could be whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like I already know where I'm going, so when you hear mine, you could probably go, okay, well I understand where he's going with it now. So,
all right, let's hear yours.
For my pet peeve, the thing that you do that drives me the fucking craziest out of anything that you do, the only thing that annoys the fuck out of you is not that big of a deal, like to where you'd like never want to talk to her again or anything, right? But are you ready, buddy? When you get up in the morning.
Yes.
First of all, I want you to tell them, in your words, how quiet do you think you are when you get up in the morning to go to work? How quiet do you perceive yourself?
I'm trying.
As...
You know when, listen, you know when you have like, let's say you're getting a vitamin out of a little bottle and you're very carefully trying to put the cap back on the bottle, but you're trying to be really quiet. What happens?
This has nothing to do with what the fuck we're talking
Absolutely
about.
Absolutely it does. You try to be so quiet and you're going really gentle and the thing goes poof and it hits the counter and then it hits the floor and bounces and bounces and bounces. That is what it is like to live with me.
No. How quiet do you think, how quiet do you perceive that, no, not you're trying, how quiet do you think you actually are?
I think my effort is 100%.
No, take the effort out of it. How quiet?
Effort matters. But I think that based on what you've said, I sound like a tornado running through the house.
Here's the real, okay, that's her version. Now here's the real version. It sounds like she gets up in the morning and immediately goes in the kitchen. She don't drink coffee anymore, so I'm not really sure what the fucking kitchen, maybe water or whatever. And she opens the cabinet, right?
Oh, because I have to get the cookie out for the dog.
She opens the cabinet, walks over, grabs, this is what it sounds like, grabs an aluminum Louisville Slugger baseball bat, winds up in the middle of the kitchen and fucking closes the door in the fucking cabinet with a Louisville Slugger fucking aluminum bat. That's what it sounds like she's doing in there. Then she does it 5 fucking times on all the cabinets in the fucking thing, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm like, ah!
And that's if I'm crashed out here on the couch because I got falls asleep. If I'm in the bed sleeping, when she goes to do her fucking hair and shit in the bathroom, it sounds like she has a full fucking drum set. In the fuck, I expect to open the door and she's playing the fucking drums in there. That's what the fuck.
Off in the sink, over the counter, on the
The
ground.
loudest fucking shit. If you had a jackhammer on my fucking face, first thing in the morning, I'd be like, that's pretty much Erin. It's like to fucking wake up next to Erin. That's.
But I'm trying so hard.
And it's not her fault.
It doesn't go well, you
this
guys.
one time,
it goes badly.
I didn't know what the fuck happened. I thought she was actually in there throwing shit around. I thought she was mad or something, right? She had dropped the cap off of like a hairspray thing or whatever it was. It hit the sink and went.
That's what I'm saying.
It rolled up. It bounced off the walls and shit. It was like a fucking ping pong ball in the fucking. And I'm like, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in there, right? And like she's trying to. She'll be like, you hear her go, shit. You hear her say that.
I was gonna say, don't you hear me go, fuck. I know I wasn't.
So I know for a fucking fact, right?
I just go like this. I don't know what to do. I'm trying so hard and it gets louder.
That's my pet peeve, like the thing that's
yeah.
And if you're looking at it as like shit that aggravates your relationship, that's really minor. But that's where we're at, right? Now the thing that I like most about her.
Okay, I like this. This is a much more comfortable.
If I had to pick like one, quality and say, what's her best quality? What do you like the best about her? Is how legitimately caring a person you are. Like legitimately. Like not just towards me, but towards anyone. Like she would rather take the heat rather than her friends take the heat for whatever. She would rather put herself in danger than have a friend be in danger or a parent or whatever. That's just how she is. Like she will always like sacrifice herself for it. It's like living with a female version of fucking Jesus. Okay. That's what it's like living with her, right? Because she's always doing the right thing. Like it's not a bad thing. That's what I like the most about her. It's like she doesn't just do things nice for me or care about me or whatever or the dog. She does it for everybody.
So you like it when I do the right thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not necessarily do the right thing, but it's not even the right thing. It's the caring thing. So perfect example. This is a true story. One night she had worked like, I don't know, fucking 100 hours like she always does, right? Like she went in on Monday and it's Thursday and she's still there, right?
No,
and she calls me because she's supposed to be going for work. She calls me and says, hey, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be taking this flight. Why does this thing keep moving? You see it?
Yeah.
It's moving. What the fuck is going on? Hang on.
I don't know.
Well, now it's fucking, I'm killing it even more. What the hell's going on? So one of her friends at work had to go secure a heart or lung or whatever it was. And they have to fly in this jet. And it was raining outside. It was thundering and lightning. And the person was scared of...
Well, she's scared to fly.
She's scared to fly.
No, perfect day, she's scared to fly.
But now...
It's just one of her fears. Everybody, I have spiders. She has airplanes.
No, my thing is, hey, it's her job. She signed up for it. She just has to do it, right? That's my thing. That's what I would do if I was that lady and I was scared. I would just be like, it's my job. Fuck it. I'm going to just do it. Well, Erin calls me and says, hey, I'm going to be late. I'm not coming home tonight. I'm going to fly for a lung or a car or whatever. And she told me the situation. I'm like, but you've already been working like 15 hours. Like, what the fuck? That's like another 10 hours. But she's scared. I'm like, so fucking what? She's an adult. Now, I hope she doesn't see this. If she does, no offense. I mean, this is just reality. So fucking what? She's a grown-ass adult. She took the job. She knows what it entails. It doesn't fucking matter. Bite your lip, buck up, and fucking go get it done, right?
And she will, but I know
she would,
she's
but
scared.
Yeah, Erin decided to take it for her. So there was another like 12 hours or 10 hours or whatever tacked onto her day. So that was like a 36-hour fucking day or something for her. Because and she was okay to go home. Like her shift was over and she was coming home, but because, or maybe she didn't want to come home because she didn't want to see me. But anyways, but she literally just went and took that for her, which put her in a predicament. So that's my favorite thing or best thing. So now it's your turn. Please go easy on me. No, fuck it, tear me up. Like whatever, fuck me up. Like whatever I have, just beat the shit out of me.
So everybody knows that Jerry has ADD.
I can add, I can subtract,
and
I can
he gets really busy sometimes. And sometimes he's not really busy, but it's the same effect, just in different, how about the volume of the things. So it used to be I would come home, back when Brady was a little baby, we would crate train him just for like the couple hours I was gone. Sometimes I'd walk in from work and the dog would greet me at the door and I'm like, oh my God. So I would walk over what happened? The crate door's open, he's greeting me at the door. There's random stuff all over the counters, all over the kitchen table, and I'm like, what happened? It looked like a toddler had ransacked the house, and I'm like, what just happened? And I realized, I'm like, oh, he opened this, and then he forgot, and then he went here, and then, well, he doesn't even know he did that.
My steps through the house,
and I'm like, he forgot to put down the gate for the dog. Okay. So, but even when he's not excessively busy, he can. Today, you went to get one of those little, when you have a piece of furniture, those little felt strips for the sliders. He went in the kitchen, went in the drawer, got it out, apparently got whatever he needed because a little piece was missing. And then this shredded container with random little felt things everywhere were just sitting on the counter. And I'm going,
she has such a horrible life. This is the worst thing about me. Did you need
this random amount of felt strips on the fucking counter? So I'm like, so every morning, every morning what I do is I get up and go, and I just take everything and put it back and move everything. And I know he doesn't mean to. He just doesn't remember.
That's my worst thing about me? That's the worst thing?
It drives me fucking nuts.
That's the worst though? You got a fucking awesome life. I had no idea. I thought it would be like anything. I thought it would be fucking me snoring would be worse.
Snoring? Well, it depends on your weight. He only snores based on weight. I can tell you what he weighs.
He weighs 205 now. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, so when did you hit 200? And he's like, 2 days ago. I'm like, He's like, how did you know?
Well, I don't think you're snoring, but the ADD, really, that drives you nuts. Well, it drives me nuts too. So it's like.
Well, I know you don't mean to, And every once in a while I get into this little mood where I'm like, fuck that guy. He can pick up after himself.
And what's so
I
fucked
don't
up.
care. And then 2 days later, it hasn't happened. And I'm like, ah! And I have to go do it.
Okay, that may be going on what's in her head, but fucking that's not anything. Like, she doesn't represent it to me like that. She just walks. There's never any like, none of that shit.
What are you gonna do? Hey, I know you don't know you're doing it.
Is
you
that
don't
fucking
realize.
camera turning again?
Yes.
Look, what the fuck is going on over
But
here?
what am I supposed to say? Hey, I know you're not trying to do this, but you are, and I mean, it's not your fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Remember, it's not my fault. It's ADD. It's not my fault. Well, if that's the worst, fuck, I'm looking forward to the best part because that was actually pretty fucking good. I thought I was gonna get fucking tuned up, but
I thought it was gonna be way worse than when I wake up. In the morning. Woo. So the best is sometimes, it's no secret that he and I are yin and yang, and that there's no secret there. We couldn't.
am I yin
be,
or am I yang?
I don't know. Whichever the dark one with the white circle, and I would choose the white with the little
I
dark
feel like
circle.
the yang is the dark one.
I don't think it
I
matters.
don't know. I'm just making it up.
This is the point. So I'll have an opinion about something or something where I could see things both sides of the fence will happen at work. And there's this huge gray area. And I kind of think this, right? And I'll go home and go, wait, hold on. And I'll run it by him because he tends to see things from a different lens than I do. And he'll say, so let me get this straight. And he'll say it back to me in such a way where I sound like a fucking idiot. And I go, I never thought of it that way. And so I go, really? So do you really think, so you think this? And he'll go, well, yeah. And he's just so adamant about what he believes. But I'll go, I don't always go back to following exactly what he has suggested, but I will tell you that your perspective in some tough instances makes me think. And it gives me a different perspective and makes me go, well, is that the only way to look at something like this? So it's made me tougher in a way because I see sometimes something will happen and I'll be like, oh no, that's terrible. And then I'll go, think in my head, what'd Jerry say about this?
It's his own fucking fault.
And he'd go, fuck that guy.
It's his own fault.
You know
Fuck
what?
that
He
guy.
wants to do this, fuck that guy. And I'd be like, ooh, but the poor guy. And I'm like,
He got drunk and stepped off a fucking curb in front of a bus. Fuck him, he was drunk. It was his choice. Like, what the fuck?
This is not your problem. And so we have a lot of conversations like this. So then at least before I go, oh no, this guy, or whatever it is, I'll go,
I think what I'm really hearing from this whole thing, the take home, if we had to shorten it, would be Jerry's always right. That's pretty much what you're saying, right?
He's not always right. However, his different perspective
is right 99.9% of the time. So it's not always
0% chance of what you just said. It helps me see the other side of issues where normally maybe I didn't. And I feel like in general, I see things relatively fair. If he asks me a question, I'll say, well, some people say this and some people say this. And the truth is probably in the middle, right? I mean, if it's not 100% this or this, it's usually 50-50 or 60-40. It's somewhere in the middle there. So I feel like by adding in his very different perspective, I have been able to make better decisions and also advocate for people in a different way.
You have to really be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, like literally be able to do that. You have to really be able to think of how other people feel. And like, in the case of the guy who stepped off the curb into the bus, like, you can say, oh, I feel bad for me, hit by a bus. I'm like, that dude just walked out of a bar drunk as fuck at 11 a.m., stepped off a curb and hit by a bus. It's own fucking fault. Like, that's on him.
And I'm like, but it doesn't matter. He's hurt. He needs help. So he and I, this is how we are though, right? I'll be like, no, but it doesn't matter. He's hurt. It doesn't matter what happened or why. He needs help. And he's always like, fuck that guy.
Like, okay, fine. Help him this time. The motherfucker gets hit by a bus again. Fuck him. He's on his own.
But what if he tripped and fell? Be like, he did not trip and fall.
If he tripped and fell, no, that motherfucker came out of the fucking bar and fell down face first into the street and got run over by a fucking bus. Like, that's on him.
But here's my theory though with these things. Whatever you love the most about a person is also the thing you usually hate the most about a person.
Yeah, but it's not. Well,
like,
no,
it can be
no,
your
no.
downfall.
Yeah,
right?
It can be, but it's not in the case. Like, I don't hate you or hate the fact that you're so caring. It's a good thing to see because a lot of people are caring to the person they're with, but not everybody around them. So, true story. I judge people. I shouldn't say I judge people. I shouldn't say that's fucking bad.
You heard what he said.
I observe people in the way that they treat everyone around them and make my decision based on what I think that person really is as far as who they really are.
Yeah.
A decision based on what I've seen. Yeah, not judging. I'm not judging. But I am an NPC judge, so I technically could say judging, and it wouldn't be
enough of your
just saying.
crap. See,
so,
here.
But when you start thinking about like, if you're with a person like you and I are together, you would probably treat me good. Like that's what a relationship is. You're treating the other person good, right? Then you go to like a restaurant and you fucking scream at the waiter or snap your fingers at him or something. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you're not being bad to me, but that fucking person you are, or like your parents. They call you and say, hey, can you do this for me? You're like, no, fuck you, or whatever, and hang up. Well, and then I call and ask her to do something. She's like, oh, okay, no problem, babe. Like, yeah, she's being nice to me, but I look at how somebody treats everybody around them and what those people, how they react to the person, what they think of them, how they care or they don't care about them and stuff like that. And then base my decisions based on that, and not just how the person treats me. So when I see you doing all that other shit, it makes me go like, well, she's not just being like this to me because she cares about me. She cares about everyone, which is why the whole fucking living like a fucking girl Jesus, because it's true. Like you care about everyone all the time. It's like,
but there are limits. Like I know exactly what you're saying, and there's someone in my hospital that is extremely good to me. She couldn't be any nicer to me. Honestly, I don't have anything negative to say about her. The way she treats me, things she's ever said to me, we're good. That being said, I see, I witness, I hear how she is with other people, and it makes my skin crawl. So you might say girl Jesus all you want to, but my hands are like this when it comes to her. I have nothing but respect for her because she's respectful to me.
You touch your boobs? Is that what
I
it is?
touch my boobs.
No, yours or hers? Because you're like, you're not grabbing her.
But I know better. I know better as to who she is.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the thing is knowing. Well, that's the thing is.
I know better. Yeah. It's bullshit.
Well, that's the whole point. Yours is not a mask. That's the whole point of the fucking situation. Is yours is not a mask. You know, like when you first meet someone, you wear masks and you peel off one, you peel off the next, and eventually, hopefully, you get down to the actual face and there's no mask. But I felt like right from the beginning, it was no, there was no mask. But the more that I saw, it was like usually the more you see. This is gonna sound so fucked up, but the more you see of someone, a lot of times, the more things you don't like. Like you wind up finding things that you don't like about the person. That just never happened with her.
That's true.
Like the more I got around her, the more I noticed that like however she was treating me and being to me and the people in the surrounding areas that we knew was the same way she treated her family and people at work and people she's never even met for the first time. I think, when we meet people for the first time, like, we met Seamus for the first time. She runs up and fucking like hugs him, and
he's
just
so sweet, you guys.
We're just using him as an example, but it was like people that I know from like being online or whatever. We meet them. Well, I've had fans come up to me at the expos and say something, and then Erin will be like, "I just want to hug you," and like fucking hug the person, and I'm like,
they're so sweet,
babe. We don't even know them. Like, what the fuck?
But they've got good energy. Like, listen, I recognize a good person when I see them, and I'm a hugger.
Obviously, you fucking married me, so it's very obvious you have a good eye for that type of thing.
How much did I struggle about everything I knew about you? How much did I struggle? All of the questions I would ask you and go.
She goes, I have the best question. I love this
God.
question, right? So we're training together. I don't know how long, maybe a month or something. And she goes, "Do you take steroids?" Right? And I go,
I'm
"Yeah."
not afraid to ask questions.
She goes, I go, "Uh-huh, yeah." She goes, "You do?"
I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, why? I'm like,
oh, that thing's moving because I'm hitting the floor with my foot. Okay, fuck. But yeah, she's like, "You do?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
and then I'm like, and then you were like, yeah, I'm also a recovering heroin addict. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I really know how to pick them. And I'm like, fuck.
Like, don't ask questions you don't want the answers
I know,
to.
and it's, see,
fuck,
this is what I'm saying. Because then I go, oh my God. Oh my God, Little Miss Goody Two Shoes had such an issue, right? But this is another challenge that he gave to me. Because Little Miss Goody Two Shoes, no drugs, like, never missed a day of class, bullshit, right? And he's like, yeah, I take steroids. Yeah, I'm recovering from heroin. And I'm like,
let's just say I hide it. Let's just say I lie and I say no, because I don't want her to judge me, right? Because she could be judgy, maybe. Obviously not if she's married a fucking former heroin addict, former steroid abuser. But the whole thing is when I just lost my fucking train of thought. What was I saying?
The bottom line is the same. I still saw.
Oh, I could have lied. That's what it was. Anyways, I could have lied. This is what happens. You don't have a script. You just wing it. Anyways, in ADD because you go off on
you a script. You don't
so I could have lied, right? And then what happens if I lied to her? Right? Eventually, like she would have been like, somebody would have been like, "Yeah, Jerry, when he was addicted to heroin," she would have been like, "What?" Or be like, "Yeah, Jerry, he takes like fucking 2,000 milligrams of testosterone a week. He's on all the different steroids. He's a bodybuilder." She'd be like, "What?"
Oh my God.
Like we have a friend. This is a perfect example. We have a mutual, not a friend, but a mutual person in common, and this person lied to me a lot about a lot of things that I didn't really realize that he was just full of shit. And Erin actually knew him because her friend used to date him. Oh. And when I first met her, I knew him before she knew me, and like I didn't know that they even knew each other. I don't even know if he. Anyways, I thought he was like the coolest guy. We were hanging out, we were good friends and stuff. I thought we were good friends, and she starts telling me about all these fucking things, And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, nah, this is a different guy.
I'm like,
Cannot be
no.
the same guy. It's not him. It turned out not only was it the same guy, but later on that individual didn't just fuck me over. He fucked over other close friends of mine. He was the scumbag that she said. So even if I had lied, it all comes out like that in the end. So you might as well be up front.
Like, what are the odds of that? And of course, I sat there and I said, he's one of your best friends? And he was like, no, yeah, man, he's a good guy. And I went, really? What's your definition of a good guy? Because let me tell you what happened. And then I was like this with him for I don't know how long. I was like, I don't trust him. If he's good friends with that guy, fuck that guy. Because I was like, if you get judged by your friends, then fuck you, because this guy is trash. And I'm like, don't misunderstand me. My friend let it happen, right?
Yeah.
All of the terrible things.
Well, we don't have to get into the whole situation.
But
the whole point was
is,
this guy was telling me, he was putting up a front to me, but eventually it came out because you can't hide shit. When you lie, eventually it comes out. Like somebody knows somebody or something.
That's true.
Like, matter of fact, like my ex-girlfriends, my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriends, when I first got involved with them, I told them that I was on steroids too. Like right from the first date.
Can you imagine first date?
They're like, we're talking, and I'm
yeah,
like,
I like steak and potatoes. I prefer water with lemon, and I'm on steroids.
because I don't want them to find a needle. At the time, I wasn't doing drugs, right? I was doing steroids or drugs. But I don't want them to find a needle and be like,
not those.
Oh,
drugs.
this motherfucker's on meth or heroin. I'm like, no, I'm on steroids. It's okay. Like it was fine. Because it seemed like back then that it was like steroids were, Lance Armstrong hadn't been popped yet. It was still kind of underground and taboo. Like it wasn't really out in the open yet. So I just didn't want them to be like, what the fuck is this? And think I was some kind of like hardcore drug addict when I was just an athlete trying to get better, But I was like, why? What's the point? If someone judges you for that right away, like if I told Erin when we were training, yeah, I take steroids, and she was like, well, I don't want to fucking ever talk to him again, or I don't even want to fucking train with him anymore. Like, okay, it was a short period of time that I knew her. We weren't really attached to each other or anything. If it ends at that point, then what did you really lose? You were honest. She was honest. It saved you the point of getting involved with somebody, becoming friends with them or close to them, then finding out that thing later that makes you really go, I don't know if I can handle that. Like it cuts out all the bullshit, just being honest.
It challenged my preconceived notions because I had like the Ben Affleck after school special of roid rage.
Yes.
What do I know? Like,
yes.
What am I going to know about steroids? So my whole thing is by the time he told me that, I already knew him as, really funny. And he had all these random diverse knowledge things about things. I was like, he's like, that movie with, I'm like, what? How do you know so much about weird things? Like, it's amazing.
I have like a case of autism, I think. I think I'm on the scale. I think that's why.
How does he know all this stuff? And like the things he did know and the information he had. So my judgment came from the real who he was. If I had known steroids the first 10 minutes I met him, I'd be like, that fucking meathead. But I knew him for him. And then I knew about heroin. And then I knew about steroids. And then I had more respect because he was honest, first and foremost. But then actually beating heroin, almost no one does that. And so how did he do that? And then I felt really inspired. So, there's a lot that comes from different perspectives, and his different experiences versus mine, it has opened my eyes to a lot of different things.
When she's talking about that weird thing that she's talking about that I do, I don't know what the fuck. I always say that I think I have autism. I have Asperger's. I'm on the scale. Something is going on with me that is not kosher, right? Because I can remember, and this serves no fucking purpose other than if I was in the world championships of Trivia Pursuit. That's the only way this would serve me any purpose. I can see a face on TV, and 6 years later be like, that's the girl that was in this movie when she was 10. And she's like 16 now, looks totally different. Aaron be like, what? And I'll go on to IMDb. Be like, look, there she is. Like, we'll see somebody in a movie. I'm like, yeah, they used to be in a TV show when I was a kid. And blah, blah. And she'd be like, what the fuck? And I'll look up IMDb and show her. Or like, I can recognize voices. Like, really weird. Like, if somebody's talking on the screen, I can recognize that voice without seeing a face and be like, this is who it is. Like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, I don't know. Then you look it up, right? And you know who it is. So like, I have this weird thing of like placing faces in movies with actors throughout the years, which is weird. And then recognizing voices. So if I talk to you on the phone and I hear your voice again, I'm like, oh, I talked to them on the phone 3 years ago. I remember that person.
How do you remember these things?
But that's not normal shit. That's not even like stuff that like skills you can acquire. That's like autistic shit. That you're born with something that your brain recognizes patterns in a different way. So I'm like, I don't know.
Are you good with song lyrics too?
Song lyrics?
I'm really good with song lyrics. I got you.
You like
song
writing
lyrics.
them or?
No, I just know them. I know songs. Like I can play Name That Tune.
Oh,
I'm
really?
So good
Maybe.
at that.
I don't
Music,
know.
I know it. But like the people, the actors,
I don't know. It's weird because we saw a little girl that was on SVU. And I was like, that's a girl that's in a movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. She plays one. She's like, hello, y'all. She has and she knew who I was talking about from the movie, but she was like, I think that's fucking her. And I'm like,
So you're
Here.
watching, this is every show you watch, and you're like, who is this person I'm supposed to recognize? Babe, who's that? Babe, who's that? Who's that person? Come on, think about it. Adam Sandler. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know.
Because it's very apparent to me, it just jumps out. So that's my little autistic fucking side job that I do. It's dumb, it makes no sense, it serves no fucking purpose, but I can't stop it. Like, it's overwhelming sometimes. I'm like, that's the fucking girl from that movie. Like, I can't even control it. Like, I try to shut up. I'm just like, there's no point in telling her.
Can we go back to that? He called me a girl Jesus.
Oh my god. She got the hair like the Witcher today. Turn your hair.
Dude, it's bad.
Toss your wife a coin.
Listen,
Toss a coin to your
I
wife.
I thought we were gonna exercise. God damn it.
All right, now we're gonna exercise. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna do more of these videos, I think. I just gotta come on. And if you come up with shit like to ask me, we'll just throw the camera on. It doesn't have to be me. Like, you can have the advantage on that one too. And it doesn't matter how fucking stupid it is, I ain't gonna fuck.
That's my point. You don't care. You'll talk about anything.
Nobody ever has to see these videos. If I watch it and I'm like, I look like a fucking idiot, I don't have to put it up. But I'll put it up anyways. I don't have to, but I'll put it up because I don't mind looking like a fucking idiot.
Good times.
Yeah. I'm Byron Street and I approve this message with...
Hi.